Hey Crown Content Publications followers, viewers, supporters, and listeners. Thank you for clicking on my video today to see what it is I have to say. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Hit that subscribe button soon so that you can follow more video discussion topics just like the one I'm about to cover today, or business and topics that we discuss for entrepreneurs and writers. Our small business is dedicated specifically to entrepreneurs and writers all over the world who are very serious about their craft, looking for promotion, looking for new creative ways to market themselves, especially as the market itself, as we know, it changes. But today's segment is not about business or marketing. I actually want to see if I could come on here and see if we can at some point begin to normalize the conversation, especially within the community of parents, the conversation of how technology and gaming, virtual technology specifically, might be or has been affecting our youth. So with this topic right here, I'd like to actually just jump right into it, because it touched me when I heard this specific story, and I know that I have children around the same age as the young man that is kind of in jeopardy of being convicted, and if is convicted at the age of 10 years old, can be facing a maximum sentence of 60 years. Okay, from most of the reports I've read and researched about this story, the reports are not disclosing just yet whether the 60 years will be in a mental institute, or he's going to do half at a mental institute, half at a juvenile detention center till he's 18, half in a penitentiary somewhere. But this crime did take place, unfortunately. This unfortunate crime and this unfortunate demise of the young man's mother took place in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, according to my research this far. Coming from the stance and standpoint and just perception of an American right now, we have truly not had it easy as far as not just the crimes and the homicides that are all over the news right now, and cases that are still ongoing, families that are still seeking justice about these cases. We find ourselves as Americans, especially as young Americans, because a lot of the media ties homicides that we've been seeing lately are young people. So even with the rapper Takeoff, or the young lady Shanquilla Robinson. Okay, so I said, what's worse, like still trying to find who either motivated the crime or conspired the crime, or committed the crime, or actually coming to find out, like with this story, that it was a 10-year-old child. It was the woman's own child. And why I want to normalize the conversation, I just thought I would use this story for example that took place specifically November 21st, 2022, at approximately between 6:30, 6:50 a.m. Different articles are going to say different things, but we definitely know it was between the hours of 6:30, because I'm hearing that authorities made it to that home in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, where the 26-year-old daughter of this same woman who was her life was taken in her home. She was the one who called authorities. Okay, so this young 10-year-old man did have a big sister by the name of Kiana Mann. My respect and condolences, first of all, does go out to the family and everything, because it couldn't have been easy for his big sister to begin to have to come out here recently and tell authorities that, it eventually got leaked out to the public that, look, my little brother has been having anger issues, right? This is her baby brother, y'all. She's 26 and this baby is 10 years old. So she's saying that he had a history, because the mother is not here to speak on her son's behalf. So I guess next closest to kin that would know about her brother of all people is the sister, who happened to be sleeping. I think I read in a report on the second floor of this Wisconsin Milwaukee home the morning this happened, right? It's so much to cover here. Like my heart goes out to her first too, because, and to the baby, but I want to speak on the big sister real quick, because it couldn't have been easy to like see that, go through that with your mother. Not the homicide, that's not what I'm talking about at this point. See the behavioral issues that your mother was dealing with already when it came to that specific sibling. She's saying that, look, because most of the reports I looked into, the therapists are not giving more details, you know what I'm saying, at this time. I'm sure more is going to come out at the time of the trial and everything, and yes, they have a pending trial to my understanding. He is pretty much looking at being convicted for first degree reckless homicide, okay? She's coming out saying, look, my little brother has been having anger issues. We've seen him do things like torture animals and pets, and you know what I mean, just real reckless behavior, like these signs. According to a therapist, the little information we're getting as the public is that he was diagnosed, in her words, with a disturbing, you know what I'm saying, diagnosis, whatever that is. Was it schizophrenia? Was it like psychopath? Like, what was it at the age of 10 or earlier than the age of 10? And is that his fault? Is that his fault? If you got therapists saying, y'all, I'm not excusing what the young man has did, just looking at this case all the way around. Because first they're saying he lied. He told the police he was spinning the gun on his finger, and it went off, you know what I'm saying, when he went down to the basement where his mother was. But he had already retrieved the weapon from her bedroom. Actually, it came out later that he confessed that he had the keys. He had gotten the keys to her lockbox where the weapon was, you know what I'm saying, put away, and unlocked the lockbox and got it out of the lockbox that she kept in her bedroom. The mother kept in her bedroom. And went downstairs in the basement, and his first story he gave authorities is that he was kind of twirling it, just playing with it on his finger, and it went off, and shot his mother. I guess that's what he told his big sister as well that morning when he went and woke her up or whatever. But and I don't know, that must have been hard as a 10-year-old too, trying to go tell your sister, like, whether it was accidental or not, I somehow shot mom. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. It's unheard of, to be honest with y'all. Not parents taking the lives of their children, but a baby so young, Let me pause for a second, and encourage us as we all look into this story. Search YouTube for videos, search the web for updated reports. Let's remember to also keep this young man and his family in our positive thoughts and prayers. I just don't like the comments I'm seeing already, like on certain videos and articles and posts on Facebook about this situation. Like, he knew what he was doing. He it's bad. It's like no type of understanding for the child. And this is what, I'm not here to excuse what the child did. I'm here to normalize the conversation of two major points in this story. Like, number one, why he knew how to access the weapon, from the key to the lockbox to where the weapon was in the first place. I'm not the first person to kind of bring it out to the table as adults out here, as parents out here, y'all. Like, we got these weapons in the house, and why? Because this is not the first story of a kid even, you know what I'm saying, accessing a weapon in the house to begin with. I'm not here to disrespect the family. I'm not here to disrespect the situation. I'm here on this video discussion topic today, hopefully to spread more awareness of how significant and important it is for us to keep that type of stuff out of the reach of children, point blank, period. You've had children take these type of weapons to school, hurting other children. You've had them do it outside of school. You know what I'm saying? They're at birthday parties. They're at parties. They're at gatherings with other youth yet they somehow had access to a weapon to hurt another youth. These stories are getting old is not the word. It's making some of us more and more frustrated and irritated because, I never in history have I seen weapons this accessible to children. This baby is 10 years old facing 60 years, y'all. Okay, so the second thing I'm going to touch on, because they shouldn't be that accessible. The second thing and the main thing with this story that I feel like I could take the opportunity and we should all learn. We should all learn, like, don't just sit around and talk about somebody else's demise. Don't just sit around and talk about how unfortunate somebody else's story was. If you're not taking anything out of a story, like most story books we even read to our children between the grades of K through 6, has some type of lesson tied to it. They're not going to be giving our children's books at school that they can't learn a lesson from. Keep up with me. So why wouldn't it be the same when it comes to stories that we hear in the media and in the news? Are we not awakening ourselves, or you know what I'm saying, shielding ourselves in a way, beginning to protect our children even more, even in our own homes? You got weapons in the house. That 10-year-old baby shouldn't even not known where it is. But see, there's more to the story. Because of this baby's background of behavioral issues and things like this, the mom had already, apparently, according to the big sister, Miss Kiana Mann, she had already put up like cameras and things on the inside of their home to monitor her baby more. And I know that with some camera software, some camera companies and everything allow you to be able to, like, right from your tablet, right from your phone, right from your laptop, just at will, even if you're in your car and the babysitter is there with your child, right? It allows you to be able to still see, what's going on the inside of your home. So I respect the mother that lost her life here. I respect her, for putting those cameras up in the house. But according to reports, someone had unplugged the cameras 2 weeks ago. How the reporters notice, how authorities notice, is because sister remembers mom telling her this. Okay, the mother was age 44, by the way, y'all. She had a 26-year-old daughter apparently, so he had a big sister, and she also had her son, the 10-year-old. Okay, and so he retrieved this gun from the bedroom and everything. But my point is that I was looking at two major points with this story so we can normalize these conversations. You know what I'm saying? Weapons should not be this accessible and available and around our children like that, because accidents, some of these stories are accidents. Y'all know that, right? But this right here, he admitted later on to authorities that he did it, like that he shot her because he was angry. I guess it was the night before or previously before, sometime recently, before he even took the action to take his mother's life. He wanted what they call a VR headset, guys. And I guess mother wasn't moving quick enough to buy it, or didn't want to buy it, or said no, whatever the case was, right? Because she's not here to speak for herself. But the reason the VR headset came out of the story, or that this could have been inspired behind his anger about it, is because even after, authorities come in, taking the body, taking the baby to, family's house so Child Protective Services could investigate and things like that. And they say at the family member's house, which was just the next day, all that was on this baby's mind, this 10-year-old baby's mind, was this VR headset. So much so that he asked his grandmother, "Has my package arrived yet?" I guess grandmother's sister was probably like, "What package?" This is how things come out. You just talking to kids, they're vulnerable, they have no reason to lie, and he wants his headset, right? By the way, the cheapest VR headset, when I went to research it myself, y'all, today's date marks December 5th, 2022, which means in about 20 days it's the Christmas holiday season, and you're going to have more parents buying these VR headsets, or adults at that matter, right? I'm finna get somewhere with what I want us to normalize when it comes, that conversation when it comes to virtual and digital technology and gaming and the different levels of it, because there's a lot of it out here. Lots of options, lots of different gaming systems, lots of different options to invest in with these things. Let's normalize the conversation of how if our kid is first of all not mature enough to handle that type of equipment, and I don't mean because we know the babies and kids can work this stuff better than some of us, but when I say maturity, it's like, even if you got to do it as an experiment, you can kind of tell to me whether your child is mature enough to handle a certain level of gaming, a certain level of technology. And they've been talking about this with social media. They were saying, hey, stuff is just a bad influence. The things that the young people are influenced with on TikTok, on Instagram, on social media, any social media platform is too easy. It's too easily accessible, just like I said about the weapons. And normalizing that conversation, making sure parents do know, because this baby went and ordered the VR headset after he murdered. He did that on his own. These babies know how to go order stuff online. But y'all got your Google Pay, Apple Pay, Samsung Pay, all this stuff connected to your phones. Like, these kids don't know what's going on. They can just go on there and order whatever they want to. It's crazy. This is how accessible it is. Normalizing the conversation of, protect your household. And I mean all the way around. So her household was protected. She had a weapon in the house and things like this. But I'm talking about on that level too. You have a special behavioral child in the house and things like this. I've seen a lot of them same kids supposed to have mental issues, supposed to have behavioral issues. Keep up with me. Bet you they know how to work that Xbox. It's crazy. Bet you they know how to work that that whole Roblox system. So as I was doing like the research about these VR headsets and what they do and what they are, I said, wow, this is a lot of technology. This is a lot. This is beautiful, as a lot of people probably think. This makes it like 3D available, make you feel like you're in the screen playing the game. And what child wouldn't want that, right? But think to yourself, before you go do all that this Christmas, just on this one story alone. Because she had apparently already told her child no, and he got angry enough to shoot her about it. Is my child even, mature enough? Am I having this talk? Are we normalizing this talk within our households that it's not that you can't have it because I can't afford it, because I don't think you deserve it, like the friends down the block and all your friends at school got it? Sometimes it's because mom and dad, I want to show you the other side of technology, my child. I want to show you, this influential part. I want to show you how the other day when I told you to get off the game at 7 o'clock, you damn near wanted to shake up and break the whole house. You wanted to tear the house apart. You were that angry. See, a kid is not going to recognize that until you correct them, until you make them look at something like that. So if I notice one of my children doing it, for example, I'm going to call something like that out. Look how for the past 3 nights in a row, when I tell you, because the child might not have known it's an experiment, but I let it go on for 3 nights. Just to make my point when I bring it to you, because I'm finna block this whole gaming site, or I'm finna put this game up, or I'm finna block this whole gaming site from my internet, my Wi-Fi set up in our house to where you can no longer access it, because that's going to be the punishment. So I can understand where the 10-year-old's mother was coming from. For whatever reason, she didn't want to order him a VR headset. These things are like $399. The $399 ones hold up to, I think I researched 30-40 games. If you're gonna need like 60-80 games programmed to it, or more than 80 games, you can find yourself paying up to $1,000. This is not even for the computer system or the Xbox or whatever gaming system or the games yet. This is just the headset. Then the headset has accessories. This is what I went and researched about this VR headset, and there's different brands of them. One of the most popular, Oculus Reality headset. This is what he wanted. And it allows them to feel like they're more virtually in tune, like they're actually in the game. If these kids being able to create avatars, and before avatars you had what, just video game characters, like, okay, I'm on NBA 2K, I want to be Kobe today. That's what, me coming up, that's what it looked like. Which now we can still say those were still, we call them avatars. They were characters then, but we call them avatars now because you can change their hair, their eyes. You can literally make this character in the game look exactly how you want it to look. They have wallets. They go shopping. It's almost like, that's why they call it virtual reality. Like, this was just a headset. They call it virtual reality because you're going to feel like this experience is real. Should a 10-year-old even have access to that? Should an 11-year-old, 12-year-old, 8 and under? Nah, we just love the kids. We want to spoil them. This is what technology has upgraded to, so we're just going to go spend money on it. We need to normalize the conversation of having more deeper thoughts about these things, guys, because, like, the metaverse is totally real today. More and more games are shifting, if I can call it that, transitioning into the era of virtual reality options, right, for any gamer. And I just don't think it's healthy, especially if you are not in the household preaching and teaching. I'm finna get back to the story here in a minute. Yes, because that young mother's life is gone. Well, she was 44. To me, that's still, she had a lot of life to live, especially when you got a 10-year-old baby. The same baby she birthed took her life. But see, if you're not having that talk around the table at dinner time or wherever you got to have talk, maybe we should normalize it in the churches. Maybe we should normalize it in the schools. Wherever we got to have these talks, y'all. When you're in a virtual world, you're not actually feeding your physical self. You're not actually doing the things that this game makes you feel like you're doing. I'm saying a child, you definitely need to explain that to them before you giving them all this freedom. They're gonna know how to work it. They're gonna know how to work it and plug up the system and everything better than you. What's funny, he's supposed to have all these like behavioral issues and things that they have on file he's done before and things, but I bet you he knew how to work that gaming system, and that he wanted a VR headset. He knew what that was. I bet you he had plenty of sense when he's playing the game. It's crazy. So yes, I believe games have their perks and pros to them too, right? Like maybe people can take their anger and frustration out. They sit down and play the game for 2 hours. It depends on what type of game it is too. I'm not saying anything new. I'm saying, can we normalize the conversation of how the constant and rapid transition of reality, virtual reality programs and technology, because there's nothing we can do to stop it. Google, all these people are going to keep creating, getting more and more creative with not only how accessible certain technology is to us, certain technical devices too, to be able to play this stuff. They're going to keep getting creative of how real it feels to us. Am I the only one that sees this? Like, So as that happens, why are we not teaching our kids? You know what I'm saying? It's not that you're not trying to, you don't want them to have the best in life and all of this, I can see if they're educational games or, something that literally benefits the stimulation in their growth, in their maturity, you know what I'm saying, and helping them succeed in life. How has video games really ever did that? So if convicted, he does face up to 60 years. Y'all can leave your opinions in the comments. I'm wondering, should he be held 100% accountable? It's hard to answer that question not knowing the full-blown background story of his family, of his upbringing, maybe who the dad was and stuff like that too, because sometimes it is what it is, y'all. Like, these behavioral issues can be hereditary. It's crazy too. I'm still like deeply, I'm not even a therapist. I'm not in school for psychology. But I'm like, how can mental issues be hereditary? You know what I'm saying? Especially behavioral ones that cause you to act out, hurt others, hurt yourself. How is something like that behavioral? Leave your comments in the comments section. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button too, guys. I know everybody else is pretty much just kind of focused on the Shaquella Robinson story right now. We all kind of want to see justice come out of that case and stuff like this, but it's like, when it's a 10-year-old who took his own mother's life, what do we want to see then? What do we want to see then? Because with it being Christmas season again, and we're saying that, I know a lot of people trying to make it like, oh, he just had mental issues, he's older, not to knock his sister and everything. But no, baby, I've been seeing how these gaming systems, programs, constant elevation in gaming technology has been affecting our youth. I mean, like I said, down to the social media part, down to your 9 or 8-year-old feeling like they deserve to have a TikTok because this is what everybody is doing. They're entitled to a Facebook. They're entitled to an Instagram. I remember feeling young when MySpace was out. Like I'm missing something if I didn't have a MySpace page. Y'all remember MySpace? Boy, if I knew what I know now then, or if I thought the way I thought, you know, because back then you didn't even see MySpace. You know, you didn't see other platforms coming out that just bypassed them by a long shot, right? Like back then, that was the it platform. Today, our kids don't know 20 years later, TikTok might not even be TikTok, right? It might not even exist, right? Like, but we don't think like that as youngsters. It's gonna be something else everybody else doing. They call it TikTok while they little. They'll be telling their kids in the future, yeah, when we were little, it was TikTok, it was Instagram. That stuff not even... That stuff ain't gonna be here. It ain't gonna even be the same caliber of platform probably 10-15 years from now, right? Let's think about it. They're already beginning to, you know what I'm saying, make these transitions and changes on the inner realm of these platforms. The owners, down to the very owners, the owners of Twitter, the owners of Instagram, stuff like this. And yeah, with every new owner, they come with new ideas, new ways to transform and integrate and all of these things, right? And I'm so scared for the metaverse to really just take off, because I'm hearing so much is going to be connected to that, and that right there is not just going to be affecting the young people. Look how the young people are affected already. Okay, so pretty much, you know, when he shot his mother, it apparently went through her right eye and out of the back of her skull. And this is why she fell kind of like victim to her injury, okay? She was 44 years old, and now this baby is being held. I think the last article I read about it is at a $50,000 bond. Like it's a kid. It'll mentally disturb anybody. If y'all don't get anything else out of this story, video, podcast that I did today, normalize, first of all, not making it so easily accessible, because I can see that side too. You got parents out here who literally teach their children how to use weapons. Why do you think people have the weapons in the house? Somebody might break in and do anything, so they want their children to be able to go access it and, you know how to use it. But that's kind of challenging when you have a behavioral challenged child in the home too. Would they even understand that, look, I'm only showing you this for our protection if somebody is to try to come in here and hurt us, son? How is a 10-year-old supposed to understand it? So he wouldn't even knew where it was, that I had keys to a lockbox for it, none of that, because that's not for them to know. It's not at their age to me. But like I said, I do understand the parents that are out here, you know what I'm saying, making sure, I want my daughter, I want my young son to know how to quote unquote shoot, aim, target, in case we are in danger in our home. It's such a thin line now. Is it really okay for you to be teaching them that when people in the very households are falling victim to their own weapons by the children? The children are sneaking the weapons out of the house, taking them to school, hurting other children. Like, this been going on. When did we normalize the conversation about it? Okay? So let's keep that family in prayer, most definitely. And the sister, because that was her baby brother. And that young man. Because there's no telling. I don't know all the laws and everything. I might come back with a part 2 just to like follow up on this story and what they decide to do. But it's like, I don't know all the laws and statutes and everything in Wisconsin. You know, because with a baby that age and they're saying there's a background of mental health issues, what do you do with that? Because it's not making it look good that he lied at first. But that sounds like a child. That sounds like a child that was scared. But some are, you know, like I said, I didn't like the comments. They just feel like they already know. No, he knew what he was doing. They say he showed no remorse, really. He wasn't crying. Like, he's seeing y'all with behavioral mental issues. So what do y'all think she should have done different? Gave him up? Who she give him up to? Anywhere a child like that is, probably people are in danger if they don't have the professional help involved. And I'm talking about really, really, really involved. People quick to say it's because there wasn't a father around or the mother was probably spoiling too much and all this other stuff. Y'all, it's way deeper than that. That's why I came on here to talk about virtual technology and gaming to begin with, because that right there been a problem. When our children are too young, but they have open access to it, and we're not limiting how much access we're spending top dollar money every Christmas, every birthday, and all of this just so they can say they got the latest game and all of this, but you're not even willing to pay attention how that is affecting their. Oh, they make a bad grade, they can't play the game. The kids today, as you see with this 10-year-old story, they will take your life. They get mad at heart, for real. You taking a game, you taking this digital device. So should we even give it to them at this point? I say 13 years and under, because how are you mature enough to understand the dangers of online games and that there are predators and perverts? Some of y'all say, well, just watch them. See, when we played Nintendo Ready to Rumble, Bomberman, and Mario back in the day, they could watch it. The most they had to watch us is just watching the TV screen. You see what we doing. See, this stuff is different now. You got instant chat options on just about every online platform there is. Virtual chat, specials, instant chats, instant messaging. Like, all of that is dangerous to me. And with what we have going on in the world, what parent really got time to sit there for 2 hours a day just because they spent the money on this game system or virtual reality headset? 2 hours, 3 hours out of their day. Parents holler all that, and the older folks holler that, well, just watch them. But nobody got time to sit there and just watch you 24/7 every time you decide to play the game. But see, really, if it can't get to that level, they don't need it at all. Do y'all agree? I'm going to keep following this story. I know it's a lot of different stories in the media right now, and it's crazy. You know, see how this one ain't as big as what happened in Cabo, Mexico, and it makes you wonder why. There's a child involved right here. There's a child's mental health been on the line, but to consider at this point in the court of law, for a charge like first-degree reckless homicide on his own mother. But y'all saying watch your friends, watch your circle. How was she supposed to know her child would go that far? What could she have done more to prevent it? But the ones that just wash their hands and say, you know what, son, daughter, I really can't even handle this no more. They tell the caseworkers, the DPS, CPS, and child protective people this, and the people think they crazy. But I think the ones that stand up and say, I do need help. My child is a handful. Sooner than later, I respect them. It's better than that child getting older, a teenager, and feeling like they can jump on the parent, or they can jump on. People still living in the old era where they say, well, it's got to be your parenting. Y'all do know mental health issues, behavioral issues are not only real, but they are inherited sometimes, and it's not always from the mother or the father. I would think if it's inherited from a mother, somebody got the child 24/7, that mother know exactly how to deal with that child then. Because she knows how she used to be. She knows, how she used to lie, or how she used to try to get around things, or how she used to damage things when she got angry, right? But sometimes those things come from the father too. And when the father is not in the home, what is the mother to do? She seeks this behavioral help, and as soon as the child still feel like they're treated unfairly at home, the caseworkers are more taking that child side over what the parent is real life been trying to tell them about the child. To me, it's like they don't have no solution outside of prison and jail anyway. And now this young 10-year-old baby is looking at 60 years. It's got to be a better way. Was he taking medication? Like, what? Now y'all coming out saying, he was mentally challenged and everything, but not if he can order a VR headset with his mama card on Amazon after he's taken her life, and still ask his grandma had it came. You see, he's so young, he didn't understand how that one question penalized him. That one question made him look questionable. You had already admitted you was playing with the gun, and you said you accidentally shot her. See, then you came out and said later, well, I was mad because I couldn't get that hit, and she woke me up. I forgot about that part, y'all. They say, usually he wouldn't get woke up to 6:30 in the morning. And see, when I was young, we had days like that too. I'm going to wake you up earlier if this house needs to be cleaned before y'all go to school. I'm going to wake you up earlier if their homework wasn't done the night before. I'm going to wake you up earlier if I have extra errands to run today, so I need you up earlier, period. Right? It's not a kid place to say, well, I just got an attitude because it's too early. But we all know a few just like that. See, he was so irritated and got woke up and felt like he got woke up too early and all that he did something about it. So, challenged kids I just noticed that they don't be stupid. They're not retarded. You know what I'm saying? They're not slow. They don't know how to really balance their emotions. They don't know how to channel them. They don't know how to, let's normalize these conversations. I know there's groups out there and parents and coalitions that come together, to support one another with children like this. And I'm not just talking about in black homes. You got kids like this in every race, I guarantee you, every culture. They call them problem children. They call them, And no, guys, sorry that y'all don't want to hear it in this new era. A spanking doesn't always. Are you disciplined? Correction. A child that's already made up in their mind at a young age that they don't like correction, it's something to pay attention to. It's something to pay attention to. No matter how much discipline and what you did about it, how much medication you put them on. Let's look at the deeper things that our youth is going through and what's inspiring it. What is helping to, mental illness been here. Behavioral issues been here. Did social media and virtual reality gaming help at all? Access to these platforms like Walmart and Amazon, I know they're for adults mostly, but if your kid know how to work a device, they can easily order something. I've seen too many stories about it on TikTok. Just little babies that did it on accident, really. But sometimes the kids did it themselves. I for sure took all my cards off of, I don't need anything auto pay either. That's just me personally. Like, I don't even trust all that no more. And it's not because kids can access it. Look how many companies and businesses and phone companies and stuff like this have literally been, their whole systems have been hacked. Why would I want you to auto save anything of mine that I know I need to y'all's database. I don't need that. I'll call y'all every month and just make the payment. So, I kind of get it from collectors sometimes. When I say get it, like I get them. They try to tell me every month, Miss Whitney, it'll be easier if you just save your card. So we could just take the money out of your account. And I'm just like, no, and I tell them how I feel about it. And I talk to your supervisor too. We can keep on normalizing it. Just because something is normalized doesn't mean it's the right thing to be normalized. But we're not talking about the things that really, the type of conversations that really need to be normalized. Because, do you know how long it takes for a person to get their identity back after something has been breached, after they've been hacked or scammed, or do you know how long it takes to get your life back after something like that? You're the one that has to suffer and go through it, so I'm not going to let anybody talk me into gaming or certain, not even auto pay, none of that. I don't need it saved on my phone, my devices, my stuff, especially I know the kids are going to be on, because this baby ordered it. It's crazy. Ordered it anyway. That part about the cameras in the house being unplugged weeks ago, I just wonder, did the baby have anything to do with it? The 10-year-old son. If she put them up for him, at some point he knew that the cameras are in there for him. Was he uncomfortable being watched like that? Little did he know, in a mental institute, a juvenile detention center, baby, it's going to be cameras everywhere anyway. Your mama got them up because she loves you and she wants to be able to, you know what I'm saying, kind of monitor you and be there for you every step of the way that she can, because she knows that you have these issues. Anyways, guys, thank you for clicking on my video to see what it was I had to say today about this video discussion topic. Is virtual reality gaming and technology and social media and more easier access to anything we want really healthy for our youth? Leave your opinion in the comments. Thank you for clicking on my video. Make sure you subscribe and like, guys. We thank you for your support always, and we'll be back with a few more topics today, and then get ready for what we're going to be doing in December as far as our live stream topics, questions, tips when it comes to filing your taxes, right? We're going to be doing these type of segments through January of 23. Hopefully February, March, April, y'all got enough. You got to get on. We'll be one platform that, we'll have our business consultants and tax preparers and, here to answer those questions you guys might have. Our first live stream will be December 18, 2022, about 7 p.m. Mountain Time, with a tax preparer. She will be able to promote her services and also give you guys some tips and things to remember. I want to call them tax basics, especially if you're entrepreneurs out there, because our channel has been of supporting writers and entrepreneurs. There's things that we just want you to know and have information about. So much has changed when it comes to laws and updates and credits. You want to know that stuff. So, you know what I'm saying? Hit that subscribe button so that you're able to follow. We're also going to be bringing some new things to the table when it comes to the Crown Content Publications YouTube channel and our separate podcast. Just some fun things. I'm not going to reveal everything right now, but, you want to be able to tune in and follow our growth when you hit that subscribe button. Give this video a like. Don't forget to comment your opinions, and remember to keep that family in prayer. Thank you, guys. Have a good day.